Okay, folks, welcome back. Thursday evening, late afternoon, early evening. Nah, this is like an early evening. After 6, not afternoon. Late afternoon would probably be 5 or something like that. Anyways, regardless, we did some of this modeling yesterday morning, but not in the evening and not this morning. So we're going to be back at it here with the Yo Mamba build. What'd you call her? That's what the car is called. You want to be offended by this car, you got issues. let's put the readers on. What's up, Ben? Oh shit, you sent me something and I haven't gotten a chance to check it out. Well, shit. I need to buy another pair of these. It's got a big old thing. Chip on them. I don't even know what. I don't know. They're cheapies. Well, I won't be going out of town this weekend, so you guys get me every morning. I had to cancel my vacation days. I didn't have to, but I chose to. So, even more of a reason I'm not interested really in playing with people that are. Oh, it was related to the clown car. Well, we're not going to work on the clown car without seeing that first. How about that? This is kind of the 5th clown car. There's been different sets of them. I have all of one set, and I don't know what year it is. I want to say it's 2005. And they made, I want to say there's like 9 different ones. There's definitely like, well, no, there's actually more than that. There's 2 sets of 5, maybe there's 15. But I have all of one set, and they're already designed. You were probably here when I designed them. So, I got all their weapons in a little bag on each one, and I only got one done. I got Tartooth done. But, this is not one of those. I saw this at the store, and I'm like, because you can find all these things on eBay and stuff. But, if you buy one, it's like $5, which isn't too bad. $5, finder's fee and all that, but another $7 to ship it to you. I don't really want to spend $12 on it when I could get it for $1. So. $49 Merc. Okay, back to Yo Mamba. I think I need to cut this a little bit smaller. It's kind of cold in here. You hear that fan oscillating. I'm going to open this door. The girls left me alone. Let's adjust this a little bit more. Here we go. This used to never happen. You'd have an X-Acto knife, you tighten this down as tight as it'll go, and it wouldn't like all of a sudden get loose and the blade fall out. This must be these X-Acto knives that are made out of Chinesium. Yeah, I shouldn't have heard that. I'm going to be using that all the damn time. Chinesium. Should I stop and watch that video you sent me? I could do that. There's nobody on here other than me and you. Everybody's doing their honey-do list or still at work or... Oh, still more. Great googly. I was watching something at lunchtime. I don't usually watch movies at lunchtime. But a movie that I've never seen, and it might surprise you that I've never seen it, at Smokey and the Bandit. And I got about half an hour into it, and I actually thought it was pretty decent. I mean, I knew it was going to be an old movie, and I expected it to be like really crappy. But I don't know. I like stopped watching it. Like I figured, well, maybe the daughter will want to watch it. One time. Worst thing about that movie is the mustaches that people wore back then. People probably still wearing those kind of mustaches nowadays, but call those folks child molesters. But I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, again, it falls into the whole you got low expectations for something, and if you expect something to be a 2, and if it's like a 5 on 1 through 10, you're like, it's not bad. I'm expecting it to be horrible. You have all next week off, so I'm hoping to churn out some hobby stuff. Probably bounce between projects though. All next week off, so you have the fucking week off, and I don't. I could have had the week off, all right? But I didn't want to. I'm already working at 110% at work. I didn't want to work at 130 tomorrow to let everything go to shit while I was gone and have to work at 150 when I get back. It just wasn't worth it. It wasn't like I was going to Europe or something that was worthwhile. So. People just, there's a lot of fucking loose ends that there's nothing I can do about. It's got nothing to do with me. Got a lot of people that can't plan their way out of a fucking paper bag. Let's see. It's probably a little low here. Probably a little low on both of them. It's just like it's more work to take off than just to work it. I gotta fix everything when it goes to shit when I'm gone. So it's like, it's not like, I love being away from the office. Where's the damn skizzers? Did I put them over here? Why would I do that? I'm not digging this too much, by the way. I'm fine with the door, but this one on the back, I'm not really digging this process. It's kind of tedious. Yeah, let's build this other one just like that. All week off, and he chose to work on hobby stuff. Well, that's one way to save money. It's better than buying a bunch of hobby stuff and then not using it. That's stupid. That's like ordering food and like not eating it, throwing it away. Can't throw people away. There's kids that are starving. That just an American thing, or well, it's not even an American thing. I know there's just people that waste stuff. I'm first generation, so you know, there's kids that are starving. You got to eat everything on your plate. You know, got to eat everything on your plate. You got kids that are starving with flies in their eyes. You know, I can't throw away food. Well, I'll get some walking in if it's nice out, but relying on British weather. The British weather's got to be better than our weather. Now, our weather's good only because we got blue, beautiful skies. But it's hot as shit out there. You know, you step outside to get the mail, you know, you got a swamp in your ass. You know? You have 22 more days to take this year, so have plenty of time for other stuff. All right, let's talk about that. So by the way you phrase that, you've already taken time off this year. And you have 22 more days to take off. How long have you worked at this job? Less than 5 years? I'm guessing probably. I have a severe lack of days I get off a year. And like I can't even take them. And it's, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay with the number of days I have. You know, other people have said, "Man, you don't have enough." I said, "I can't even take the days I have off with enough notice." It's not like, "Hey, I want tomorrow off." But I think that's what I'm going to have to start doing. I mean, like, okay, tomorrow's a light day. I'm going to take tomorrow off. You know, like you plan something like months in advance, and it's like everything seems to happen when you're not there. You know. Like around 4th of July is going to suck a dick. I don't mean that in a good way. For those of you that are fans of that. 4th of July is going to be terrible for me. Because of work. I told the wife, don't plan on me doing anything the 4th of July. It's going to be a shit show. And it even lands on a decent day. So, it lands on a Saturday. So, we're supposed to have the Friday off. I bet we won't have the Friday off because we got to do something. And nothing you do. It's not like you could do it in advance, you know. So that's all right. I'm expecting to get bent. So if you don't get bent, winner. Let's just say that, assuming you've taken some days off, I've been at this job last month 32 years. I've taken one day off, and you have more days off left than I do. I've taken one day off, and I didn't take it off until the end of April. And it was a shit show. You know, because the place doesn't close down when I'm not there. After the end of your first year, they bumped me up to 29 days. So after you had a year in, they gave you 29 fucking days off? Wow. So the place I work at, for your first 5 years, you get 5 days off. I know, we should take up arms, right? Yeah, that's just how it is. Now, my wife has worked at places where she's worked first, and right off the bat, they gave her 3 weeks off. But that's unheard of. 29 fucking... Your job must suck. Or maybe they don't pay you well. I hope it's neither one of those two things. I hope you get paid well and you like your job, but... You know, there's like some people that, like, for instance, work for the government here in the United States, and they get a fuck ton of, like, teachers get a fuck ton of days off. They don't pay teachers shit though, so like, you know, you gotta live in the hood or something like that. You know, you got a crime scene every time you come back from work. Okay, I'd rather not have so many days off. You know, I mean, you need to pay for things. You know. Well, let's just say you get 40. Let's see, I'm doing some quick math here. You have 40% more days off the first year you work than I have in 32 years. I might be off. It might actually be 35% more. But I don't get 20 days off. I don't even get 20 days off. So, and I'm maxed out. I've been maxed out for a decade. But, you know, I mean, there's some pluses. I don't have to wear a uniform. I don't want to work a place you wear a uniform. That's stupid. That's like, you can't be trusted to wear, to dress appropriately, so you have to wear a uniform. Like, I know how to behave, man. Like, your days off don't count because the extra work when I get back, so that's even better. Okay, luckily, your days off don't cause me extra work when I get back, so that's even better. Exactly. Well, you know, I mean, I do have job security. I mean, unless the place just like, we're going to close this fucking place. Okay, then you're fucked. But I mean, I got job security. You know, I mean, if I act like an idiot and don't do my job, which obviously isn't the issue when I'm canceling vacation, you know, that would be an issue, but. You know, I don't really have an issue with how many days off you have, and it's like one of those things like you don't have a problem until somebody else like that doesn't have enough to do complains that you don't have enough time off, right? Like if you got somebody who's like a fucking slacker all the time, it's like, oh man, I get like 3 times as many days off. You should get more time off. You know, like yeah, I fucking should, or like, oh, why aren't you retired? You've worked there 32 years. You know, it's like I'm gonna cut the next person that tells me that. But I don't have to wear a uniform or a hairnet or both. Or a fucking safety vest every. What an annoying shit that would be. Like something that makes you even hotter. Your place also lets us sometimes take unpaid time off if it's a slow day. Doesn't have much of your apartment, but it can log in at 9, log off for the day 10 minutes later. That's just. You could develop a bad habit with that. I mean, it's awesome, but, you know. You also work from home, man. You know. Don't be one of those people that abuses that. And maybe your job's always been from home, but I'd be working circles. Well, I already work circles around everybody, but I'd be working circles around people just to make sure that I never lost my work from home capability. That'd be pretty sweet. But I don't take my work home with me. Like, I don't do any work at home. You know, barring a fucking emergency. You know, which don't really happen. You know, I should have a drink, except that it makes me sleepy, and then, you know, I don't get the hot. I've been going to sleep about 9 o'clock last couple nights. I'm not worth a shit to stay awake. But anyways, enough about fucking work. I read an article one time, and I should have saved it. It might have been on Facebook or something like that. But it made me kind of think. And this article, I think I've mentioned it before, was something like when you go somewhere and people ask you what you do for a living, I say, and that's not me, that's the person that wrote this article, says, I travel. And instead of like being like, what you do for a living is, you know, you're an engineer or you're, you know, whatever, you're a teacher. You know, it's like, you're doing the stuff, you know, that you're not defined by what you do for a living. That doesn't mean you don't do a good fucking job while you're there. You need to, and it feels good to do a good job, regardless of whether or not you're being paid well or not. It just feels good to do a good job. It does to me, anyways. Like, I don't want to do a shitty job. Like, who are you? I'm Tony. Oh, you're that guy who fucked everything up. Yeah, wasn't that great? No, you want to do a good fucking job. Hopefully you're compensated for it. But it basically said that this guy was writing, like, you know, he goes to some event, people ask him what you do for a living. And I freaking hate that because so many people seem to be defined by what they do for a living. Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. Oh, you make all our lives fucking worse by intruding in, you know, lawsuits and shit like that. You know, people that are like constantly like defined by what they do for a living. It's like, no, I travel. I don't like talking about work. I basically don't. I think we're going to go with this, although I don't know how it's going to turn out because there's kind of a little raise on the, you know, it's not going to work out. Got a little raise on this wheel well. I'm going to have to cut that up a little bit more. We're going to run the risk of fucking this up, but so be it. So let's find the midpoint, which is about there. And then we're going to curve that like so. And then let's see what this looks like. Because it's kind of like beveled out a little bit. So we need to get around that, or this isn't going to sit flush on the side of the vehicle and therefore not glue. I don't think I'm going to put it on. I don't think I'm going to put it on. I'm trying too hard. Like, I should have already had it done by now. It just needs to look armored. It's only 2 freaking extra damage it can take. You know? Let's just move on. Yeah, I know people, they just leave for work and they're just like, you know, they drop the tool that's in their hand and move, right? Yeah, I don't have that kind of a job. I've come back from a cruise on a weekend. I was off on a Sunday morning, and worked 8 hours just to straighten everything out. Of course, nobody was there. I prefer to do my job when there's no one there. It's like, you know, I talk to myself, make stacks of paper that need to be dealt with in different ways. I wish every day was like that. Nobody there. Perfect. Knock things out without being interrupted. All right, this thing is going to have a hatch on it. I'm going to see if we can't. This is going to be a lot easier to do it straight with this. Let's see if we can't make this square-like. And just disregard the fact that there's a line in there. This is apparently something I was going to use for a vision block or something. So we're going to glue that about there, and we're going to make a little hinge or something. So let's get some of the glue out here at Gluelandia. Put it over here on the passenger side. Are you one of the few people, Ben, that work at your place that actually speaks proper English? Because you got a call center. You turn your computer on. What? Is it you need to turn your computer on. What? I need to turn your computer on. What? Not that there's anything wrong, but you need to communicate with your customer base or you're going to have a problem. Let's get the slow super glue. Probably can't talk about it. Government is listening. It's sent to the principal's office. Herr Starmer wants a word with you. Just something real basic like that. Not going to be able to really get a good look at what it looks like until we get rid of that stupid black line on there. If you call mine proper English, yeah, you actually have a colleague who slipped in the typical Geordie. Well, the biggest problem is, okay, so I've talked about that video about accents that are easy to understand. Yours isn't bad, but sometimes you say things that I'm like, what do you, huh? And I don't hear well, so that's not a good combination. But a lot of it can be solved by, I was listening to somebody the other day, and they have a pretty heavy English accent, different than yours. And they were easy to understand if they just slowed it down a little bit. Stormtroopers. That's gotta be not true, right? They can't just you guys have freedom to speak. You're not asking somebody to be killed, okay? You can't do that here either. You can't be like, oh yeah, those people that are green, we should exterminate them. Not cool, right? You're not allowed to say things like that. Or fire in a movie theater or whatever, stuff like that. But just voicing your opinion when it's just your opinion and you're not asking for any harm to be done to anybody. The way you deal with that is have something where people that are really violent, get rid of them. Somebody who's a terrorist, don't put them on trial and then let them loose. Deal with those people. So it's then you can say whatever you want. There's no crazy people left, right? If crazy people will be dealt with, legitimately crazy people. I've said this before. There's some movies that should be banned because there's some people it would set them off. I mean, there's some seriously fucked up movies out there, and then they don't affect most of us because we've already grown into the person that we're going to be. I'm not all of a sudden going to turn into an axe murderer. It's a little too late for that, right? I would have been stopped by now. And he looks like a librarian. I'm not a badass, but I feel like I could take him. He's like some nerd burglar or whatever. Most politicians look like nerd burglars. Why is this still cattywampus? What's the meaning of this? There's something that is just not right. Is it this one? I'm ready to pop this off of all of them and just start over with this glue burgers. I don't want these cars be rocking. Cars they be rocking. I'm just going to pull all these off. The hell with it. No, but the Geordie, man, they speak in, not only is it a heavy accent, but they like skip over words. Like they'll say, I don't know what word it is, but let's say you say, you know, what's the first one I can think of? Greenhouse, like the word greenhouse, right? And then I just say greenhouse. Like they like you don't even say the whole word. Like, how am I supposed to know what I need to add in? I don't do that. There's one left. I'm pulling them all off. We'll glue them together when we're done. No, we're not touching that, so that doesn't get screwed up. I was watching something that had a bunch of British cops on it, and it looked like so dorky with those checkers. And I'm not saying that all American cops look good. There's some dorky ones too, but that whole cap with the checkers on it, it's like you look like a cab driver or something like that. They changed me into is, derives from us when typing, and it can. Oh, they type fucked up like that? Oh, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Because I'll say, I have a few of my own created Bushisms, but I don't type them. I mean, I type well, as long as I don't fat finger something. But I'm not really fat fingering something on an email. As I'll say Bushisms. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident. Is. That's just. I'd say give those people back to Scotland, but I don't think Scotland wants them. See, when I grew up, anybody who had a British accent was somebody like that was on TV. Was somebody like, Alec Guinness or like Who's the guy? Who's the guy that said everybody? It's got the that's got the. Who's the guy that's got the French name? Look at him right now. Let's see. The guy was in Spartacus. Yes, he has a French name. Not the new. No, 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 no. The movie. Not the Spartacus movie cast. Laurence Olivier. I guess, is that French? Well, it's not English. That's for damn sure. Okay? People like that. They all had RP. If you didn't have RP, you weren't in movies. Or they didn't make it to the United States. I never think about actors. I don't think about them ever until I bring them up. David Niven, Roger Moore, people like that just had a easy to understand RP voice. They didn't speak too fast. They didn't get too excited. Even Sean Connery's accent, which is not a difficult accent to understand, is extreme compared to any of those other people. And now you get people that are like, what? And there's Neanderthals here in the United States too. I mean, it's in every single one. Not a Cockney accent. Cockney accents are relatively easy to understand. Especially Michael Caine. He's got a pretty polished Cockney accent. But yeah, that Geordie, that's something else. That's something else. Oh, Sean Bean is really easy to understand. Yeah. More interested. Brian Blessed speaks really slow. He uses his whole mouth. Yeah, all those people. They're like. But a lot of it is speed. A lot of it is speed. I grew up watching Monty Python. Those guys are easy to understand. As long as the film quality is okay. Some of this film quality is just like really like lousy, right? That's not their fault. It's old, but like all those guys are easy to understand. But I watch everything with subtitles now, even stuff in, like American English or American Americans, K-A, and it's like Afrikaans, Amerikaans. Yeah. I watch everything in subtitles. A lot of people just don't enunciate well. Okay, so this is going to be armored, and we're going to put this like it's armored. Actually, you know what? I got some stuff that I've never used. Let's see if we can put some of that stuff on. I got like some bolt-on shit. Huge fucking bolts. Let's see if we can put some of this stuff on here. That definitely would look like there's something more to it than just a standard car. That's really all I want. I mean, it doesn't have to look like it's a bunker. Yeah, Sean Bean is really easy to understand. Everybody likes Sean Bean. I don't know, if I put this big bolt here, you're like wondering, like, how the hell does he get out of there? I mean, this is a monstrous bolt. Bolt of unusual size. This thing's slippery and snot. Maybe that won't quite work. Who's that other guy? That Ian guy. But he's got kind of an accent. You know, the guy that's in all the, man, he's in a ton of shit. Whatever his name is. Ian McShane? Yeah, he has kind of an accent. He's in a ton of shit. Like a fucking traffic cone or some shit like that. I think we're gonna call it a day with this. I mean, we're not gonna do any more. Yeah, I can't really. It's too difficult to get glue in there. Let's try to glue this back together and see what we do. Ian McShane's from a few towns over. He has kind of a heavy accent. It's not too bad. A couple of those Irish accents are out of control. It's hard to understand. I think I read one time that, like, this article that said that people from the UK liked Southern accents a lot, like on women. I'm like, you sure about that? I think the people in the UK are a little bit more educated than that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to hear to some Jersey girl either, Man, I forgot where you told me where you're from. Let's see if I remember. Let's see how close. I'm really good with maps. You're on one side of like a big fucking park. Nah, I don't fucking remember. I want to say it was near, like Kendall or something like that. Levens Hall or something like that. Ooh, that's a big. Man, there's a lot of mud out there. What the fuck? That's a lot of silt. Holy shit. What river is that? You got some silty ass rivers in the UK. The River Keir. Holy crap. That looks like the moon. Yeah, you got some silty ass rivers in the UK. They have them here in the US too, I guess, but not like that. Gotta be weird to go to some coastline. Hey, check out our beach, and it's just like a big mud flat. further south, a little east of Burnley. No, I guess I wasn't that close. Well, there's that fucking park. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think that there's some parts that are in the middle of the UK. I guess technically it's England. In the middle of England that are like almost like desolate, so to speak. I mean, you think like everything in the UK is completely built out, but no, there's like some. The Yorkshire Dales National Park. Yeah, that's cool. North Pennines. Nidderdale. Holy shit. East of Manchester, there's like, there's like a gully cutting through it, and the rest of it is just like, that's cool. I bet I would like the UK. I like Europe. Europe is cool. Once you stop the Turks, you can like check out. I wish I got a chance to explore the UK more, but we were only there 48 hours. We actually had no intention of going to the UK on this trip because we just went through there because it was just more. It was cheaper than going straight to Spain. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. And British Airways was fucking awesome. Best gin and tonic I ever had was on British Airways. And yes, I like gin and tonics. And apparently so does the daughter. To have one, not to, get lit on them, although I did have 11 of them at my wedding. It was for a long period of time, but... Okay, so instead of just leaving in midair, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there so all wheels are even. Then it'll dry out. That's probably what I should do. And if any of it sticks to this, you can just peel it off. That's how I should do tires. Just glue them in here and then just sit it down so it's applying equal pressure to all of them. And then they lay flat. Have you been to that big, the armories at Leeds? Are they cool? I mean, that's in the middle of fucking nowhere. I mean, no, Leeds isn't in the middle of nowhere, but it's just like, it's nowhere near London. Okay, let's turn your happy ass off. And let's get some primer. Although it's not gonna stick to this worth a damn, but I'll use one of my tricks. Not one that's awesome. What does this look like? That's freaking awesome. Although, you know what? Here's the thing, and this is why I don't fall into the whole stupid Americans. Because there's stupid people everywhere. I bet there's people in the UK that are living in the middle of history and they don't know shite about it. When I went to Spain, I'm like, you could just breathe the history. And like people were just like, elephant armor, yeah, from those people, the moguls. That's funny. There's so much known about that Mogul period, but then earlier stuff, it's like it's very hard to find information on it. And I know because I had some of those armies. So we're just gonna dab this on. It's self-leveling. Oh, now it's a lot still undeveloped because the terrain is bad for it, and existing towns and villages would need tearing down to allow more traffic. Half your village is tarmacked over horse paths. That's what Pennsylvania is. Pennsylvania, like to get from like the airport to Historicon, you gotta like change the roads multiple times, and they all like they got corners and hills and weird, man. Yeah, I'd love to go back to the UK, but I think it's gonna have to wait till I'm retired. It's just impossible to fucking take time off. And like, I like to not be in a hurry, you know? And then this will be black also. The natural place for me to go would be the Tank Museum. Tank Museum's like halfway between, London and Exeter. Like, I can't fucking go there. I'm only there 48 hours. It's in the middle of freaking nowhere. Not really, but it's on the way to, nothing that we needed to be on the way to. Be like, oh, you got 2 days in Orlando. Well, while you're in Orlando, why don't you drive out to Pensacola to see the Air Force Museum they have there? What the fuck? I mean, can't do that. Ours has houses and walls right up to the sides of them, so cars can't really pass one another without one stopping. Well, that's good. Then you don't get fucked up on which side of the road you're on. I'd be scared driving in the UK because of that. That's just asking for. And shifting with my left. What the hell? No. And I'm all for shifting cars. I am pro manual transmission. But not with my left hand. I'm all for manual transmission. Yeah, that'd be the bigger problem than driving on the right. Although that would be really weird to have the transmission on the right, but then it's a right-hand drive. That means your transmission's running around along the right-hand side of the car. On an edge. Like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's really not going to work. See, it's already looking better. Just painting some of these things that are like these off-the-wall colors all consistently. let's see, you do a lot of walking in Europe. You don't walk here. You walk like in the, New York City or something like that. But New York City's not America. If you're walking on the side of the road from here to the shopping center, there's something wrong with you, or your car broke down, or your Poe, or people don't walk here. People walk like for exercise, but they don't walk to like, hey, let me go shopping and I'll go, I'll bring a I'll go to the grocery store on foot. That just doesn't happen here. And it's kind of sad that doesn't happen, but it doesn't. And by here, I mean anywhere in the United States. Ha! We did stick our big ass finger there. Come on. Dab that back. Yo, Mamba. Okay. I guess it'll end up looking armored enough. I think I'm going to put gold rims on it. Let's see if we can't use AI to give us some ideas. Not that I'm going to go with any of them, because if they're bad ideas, they're bad ideas. I'm going to take a photograph of this thing, and I'm going to load it in. I'm going to burn out. See, let me choose the name of the village that I'm going to run out of water by using this. Projects. There we go. There's the projects. Okay, we're going to add photos. This one, select. I would like to design an illustration on the side of this that looks like a snake. I don't think I worded that correctly. Let's see what it comes up with. Might need to just leave it alone. Okay, well that would work. That's pretty decent actually. Doesn't give me right snake, the snake line of Stuka. The snake, like at Florida A&M University. Well, that's a rattlesnake. And I think that's kind of cruel, you know, like come up with a mascot for that, you know. Let's ask it. Make the snake on the side look like the snake that's on a Stuka dive bomber. Let's see how it does. I actually don't mind it being in gold. But it gives you an idea of like curves. Like, okay, yeah, a curve there looks good. Or maybe it doesn't. Yeah, I was surfing around and that map came up, so I figured I'd send you that link if you hadn't seen that yet. That's one of those Peloponnesian wars. Like, you got Athens and Sparta right there next to each other. It's like, hey, let's just go off to this island off the side and we'll fight over that. Spanakopia, or whatever the hell it's called. I forget what the hell it's called. The damn island. It's over there on the Ionian Sea. Yeah, this was shittier. That was kind of shittier. But I don't mind all these little curves. I could try it. I don't have anything really to lose. The mouth definitely has to be on the door because I'm out of space up here. We have to wait for this damn thing to dry, that's for sure. Alright, where are we going next? I'm out of ideas with this thing. I don't have a name for it. I don't have a build. Building it like a dragster would probably work, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do with it. This one, I think I'm going to make a Wonder Person. Oh, Wonder Wanker. That's what we're going to do. Wonder Wanker. It's a Wonder Woman car, so we get rid of the Wonder and the Woman part and just have that W on there, and it'll be Wonder Wanker. But this doesn't have a clear coat on it or anything. This is a 2013 Ryura LX. Made in Indonesia. I don't think I've seen an Indonesian car before. They're always either Malaysia or Thailand or China or Hong Kong if they're old. Is that the short one, the fisticuffs guy, or the fist car? The short one. No, it's not here. It's over. It's over in the other. It's over on the display thing. It's done. Did you ever see that one? Yeah, the fist off. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. It looks like a Hot Wheels. I like how it looks. I got it specifically because of these 78-inch rims on them. You know? I mean, any of these vehicles that are like exaggerated, like compressed looking, they're all going to look like Hot Wheels. Okay, so, you know? It's okay. The science van. You know, there's another. They're already banging the drum of another virus. Well, aren't you scared? No, I'm annoyed. What are you annoyed about that so many people are scared? Oh, the prices aren't high enough on food. Oh, let's start another virus. Yeah, I mean, it's exaggerated. So what? The game's exaggerated. It's not like it's a realistic game. I mean, you gotta have some kind of, you can't make this like a semi or something like that. So, there's a movie I wanted to see for a long time. I thought I saw it as a kid. I don't think I did. And that was, but it's hard to find to watch it. It's Smokey and the Bandit. Just a generic movie. So I started watching it at lunchtime. And I made about 30 minutes in. And I'm like, I got to stop. I'm like, I got to watch this with my daughter. It's actually, I thought it was going to be shittier than it was. I thought it was okay. I mean, sure, it's an old movie. And everybody has a fucking mustache. It looked weird. But, them bell-bottom pants. But I thought the humor in it was pretty funny. I don't think I had seen it before. I was like 6 when it came out. So this is the science van. That's another one that we got on the to-do list. I don't think I have the weapons for these the El Caminos. I just don't think I have the right weapons left. I've got to order weapons. I don't have any more than tripod mount machine guns and shit like that. This old, what was this guy's name? Spit Stain or whatever the hell we were going to call him. I got nothing for him to carry back there. Pimp Daddy. I'm pretty sure this is going to be Pimp Daddy. I don't know what the hell Pimp Daddy could be. It has a car in it, right? Yes. Yes. Come on, man. Even people in Absurdistan know the Smokey and the Bandit. What I didn't know is they had the truck too. So, but yeah, so how they're going to haul the beer. And it's like, it's illegal to have alcoholic beverages to cross the state lines. I'm like, that doesn't sound very American. That doesn't sound very American at all. So while this one's drying, let's load this joker in ChatGPT. Projects. Gaslands. Add photos. Okay, so this is the photo that we're going to add. This is a car for Gaslands for the Boombox Carnage team called Pimp Daddy. What kind of a weapons loadout or perks should this car have to fit the name? See if it said everything correctly. Yep. It's pretty good about, like, man, that's bullshit. We're gonna fuck some shit up. Alright, let's see what we got here. For a Boombox Carnage ride called Pimp Daddy, this thing should feel flashy, loud, arrogant, and surprisingly dangerous. The golden brown luxury looks screams rolling nightclub that survived the apocalypse. See, that's the other thing is, I like my vehicles to look like real vehicles that have guns on them. Not like, let's make everything look like Mad Max. I'm okay with a Mad Max vehicles, but I want it to still retain some of its quote-unquote humanity. Fuzzy memory. Different states have different alcohol. Really? When we used to go visit your dad's second wife's family in Oklahoma. That sounds like the start of a porno. I don't think there's any pornos that started in Oklahoma. Unless they're like on a reservation or something. Isn't Oklahoma one of those states that like 2/3 of the state is Indian reservations? Texas is like 5.3%, while beer there is no higher than like 4 points. Yeah, but don't they have like full grain alcohol? I mean, you can still get Jack Daniels, or something like that. Here's a few thematic builds depending on how you want it to play. Pimp Daddy theme ideas. Old school Cadillac energy. Smooth operator. Oh yeah. Loud stereo gold trim, velvet interior vibes. Makes everyone look at it before it wrecks them. More swagger than practicality. Well, that would be every vehicle. Would have more swagger than practicality. Build option 1. Quote unquote, drive-by legend. Fast harassment luxury gangster car. Weapons, front machine guns. Side-mounted SMG or handguns, rear smoke dropper. Well, that just sounds like every other fucking vehicle. Upgrade, crowd pleaser. There we go. That's what we want to hear. Slipstream, crowd pleaser. Fits the flashy celebrity energy perfectly. I'm not going to argue with you. If you say, I like using crowd pleaser for cars that an announcer would want to say out loud, and people would be like, oh, that's a cool sounding name, Slipstream. Everybody follows the cool stock car. Yeah, except Slipstream is it having Slipstream on other cars. I only have one car that has that, and that is the Fubuki, which is a Z. So I'm actually okay with that. Powder keg or return fire makes it dangerous during close passes. Visual ideas. Gold grill armor. I have no problem changing the silver to gold. I'm alright with that. Roof speakers, subwoofers. Leopard print interior. Well, I can't see it. Fur-lined gunner seat. Build option 2. The rolling VIP lounge. Rear mortar, front ram, optional minigun. I don't think I'm going to give it a ram because I want to see the front of the vehicle. The front of the vehicle is iconic to being a Cadillac, and I wanted to retain that. Perks, intimidating, that's not a perk. Chrome Whisperer, that is, and so is Hell for Leather. Well, Hell for Leather is just like the Pimp Python. Why it fits this version is the untouchable crime boss car, slow, confident, and destructive. Well, if it's slow, it wouldn't have Hell for Leather. Try to pay attention, chat. Pimp Daddy doesn't chase people, he schedules their funeral. Build option 3, base cannon. Weapons, rockets, rear flamethrower, oil slick. Why is it called base cannon where there's no cannon? Perks, expertise for the rockets, feel no pain, madman. See, I think this needs to have that skill that that British car has, where it's just like ignores like damage. It's just like smooth, like, man, we don't give a shit, Yeah, the front of the vehicle says Pimp Mobile more than a Ram. Yeah, I forget what the hell it's called. I'll look it up. The bass is so loud the trunk literally launches explosives. Perfect companion vehicles. Pimp Daddy, a boss luxury sedan. Yeah, he's probably the leader of the damn team. Side piece, fast muscle. Side piece is a good name for a car. I'm going to write that down. Side piece. But side piece would be good for a sidecar. Or a car that has another car next to it attached. Now, we're going to put side piece down. Side piece is a good name for a car. Gold digger, loot buggy. Sorry, I already have a gold digger way ahead of you, and it is not a buggy. Velvet hammer, armored enforcer. Okay. I already have a velvet. I have the velvet Vato, so we're not going to use velvet again. The after party, speaker van with rockets. Yeah, the front's going to stay as is. See, this is a car I don't really want it to turn into, like, too much fuckery on it. Like, I want it to look like a Cadillac Seville. I specifically got it because it is a Cadillac Seville. How are we doing on this thing? Now, we're on a roll here. So, Pimp Daddy. A pimp hand attack would be cool. I don't know what you mean by that. A pimp hand attack. Pimp Daddy. Okay, it's a car. 12 points. 2 build slots. Okay? Let's go to it needs to have at least one Magnum. I feel like it has to have a Magnum. Like the main guy, he's got like a gold Magnum or something like that. So I'm going to put Magnum. That's 4 points. Or is it 3? 3. And that's a crew-fired weapon that goes max distance like any other machine gun. They call it double. And it has blast. It's only 1d6, but it has blast. And what blast means is any hits it gets also creates a hazard for it. Magnum. 3. Okay? Let's go to the skills. Let's find out what that... It's feel no pain. During an enemy vehicle's attack step, after attackers rolled all their attack dice against this vehicle, if the attacks caused a total of 2 or fewer uncancelled hits, cancel all remaining hits. So you basically have to get... If the attacks caused a total of 2 or fewer, cancel all remaining hits. So basically, you need to get 3 hits for it to take 1. It should be like that. It's 8 points. It's a lot. I'm going to put feel no pain. Feel no pain. 8. 13, 15. That's 23. We're at 23, and we have 2 build slots we haven't used. Now... I'm okay making that a 35-point vehicle. If it comes down to it, I'd rather it be a 27. But the only way I'm going to get away with a 27-point vehicle is we got to use stuff that uses build slots that's cheap. Caltrop Dropper's one of them. Or just put fucking rockets on it. Right? What's rockets? No, rockets is 5. We're over. Thumper. I already have a vehicle there. I got Thump Daddy. This is Pimp Daddy. You have another one, Baby Daddy. Keeping your pimp Hank strong. Never heard of that? No. Maybe you know too much about pimp. No, I don't know any. A pimp hand is part of a pimp's arsenal in keeping his hose in line. I don't know shit about that. Sorry. I don't know about any of them pimp hose. I prefer the free-range hose. Thumper. Wall of amplifiers. That uses up 3. Wrecking balls, shotguns. And we need stuff that... Rockets. Rockets would be okay. What are the vehicles? I don't think I have a boombox carnage team that has rockets. I don't think that the rockets, though, really fit that. Let's see what we got here. Harpoon. They don't have any. I have 1 harpoon. Like, I need another harpoon. Mine dropper, that'd be okay. Uses up 1. What are we left with? 3 points? Death Ray. It just doesn't scream Death Ray. I'm okay with a laser. What's a laser? What is a combat laser? 5. Some bitch. A bazooka. I'd have to make one, which is okay. All right, let's look at the Boombox Carnage cars. I don't want it to be too similar to any of the other ones. It could be similar to a car on another team. I just don't want it similar to its own cars. All right, so let's take a look here. What do we got on Boombox Carnage? Boombox Carnage has some awesome cars. I would say all of the teams have some awesome cars. Do I have any new ones for Boombox Carnage? Let's see. Okay. Rice Cube is a Boombox Carnage car and an Asian Persuasion car as well. Or as Asian Devastation or whatever that we'll call them. She's got a flamethrower. Okay. The basketball car has a mortar. Double dribble demolition. What else do we have? What else do we have? What else do we have? This guy, Toe Jam. Toe Jam's got rockets. That is all of the cars that are over here that fit that. I guess technically this is, God bless it, this thing looks good. You know, I took a picture of them and then I added a clear coat. Because I always fall behind on clear coats. This thing looks freaking awesome. This is an exaggerated Impala. I don't know if this is more like a free agent. Because it could be like, he could be on the brothers team. He could be on the Mexican team. I think he's a free agent. And they're just, by association. It's not like they get any free perks or anything like that. I think that was the right decision. Just don't give them any free shit. You got to buy everything. And that way it's, balanced. All right. We got Methcalade, which has a ram, 2 heavy machine guns on the roof, extra crew guys on it. This is a cool vehicle. I don't know that it's ever done really well, but it is a cool vehicle. I really like Methcalade. It's got a custom armored thing. We got, who else? The Bully Goat. The Bully Goat has a heavy machine gun and is a rammer, and it's got all kinds of battle hammering. It's definitely a ramming vehicle. The Bully Goat. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Nope, 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 nope. Where is Thump Daddy? Thump Daddy has the Thumper. The Pimp Python just had its rear ram fell off. Guess we'll have to re-glue that. It's just on there with it's lightly armored, but it has the that hell for leather perk and 1 machine gun forward. This guy, what the hell is this guy called? Oh, it's the name of it. The High Roller. High Roller has a heavy machine gun forward. The Boom Bus. I think that's all of them. All the ones that are distinctively, specifically for... No. The guy that plays on the British team and on the Boombox guys, this guy has a double magnum. This is the Goldie Glocks. Goldie Glocks. That's all of the vehicles for Boombox Carnage. So, this is going to have intrinsic weapons inside, kind of like this one, except that's a performance vehicle, and it's got a couple of magnums. This one does not have, Yomamba has a submachine gun and a shotgun, and is armored. This is not armored, so not exactly the same. What if we put a couple machine guns on the front? I don't have any vehicles that have two machine guns to the front on this team, other than Methcalade, that is a truck and is also a Ramish vehicle. And I believe it's armored as well. A Ramish vehicle. Okay? I definitely want Feel No Pain because he's smooth, right? He's not worried about it. Man, I'll get you later. Yeah, let's glue this back. Let's glue this back in place. Let's fire this back up. It's a Walmart car. Actually, a good-looking vehicle. It's like looks like a stretch Challenger or something like that, like the modern Challenger but stretch. It's like a make-believe vehicle. Maybe we need to ditch the Magnum. That's really throwing everything off. So if we ditch the Magnum and we keep Feel No Pain, now we're at 20. And if we do a couple heavy machine guns, that's 3 times 2, that's 6 points to HMG. We're left with 1 point, and there's a crowd pleaser. Which I don't think any of these vehicles has crowd pleaser. So there it is, 2 HMGs. That's how we figure it out. That's how you figure it out. That's how you figure it out. And you know, like I said before, I don't think it's worth it repainting these from the ground up because a lot of them have really cool camouflage. A lot of them have really good paint schemes, and it's kind of done for you. Like I got this specifically because it looked this way. You know, I got this one specifically because it looked this way. This was in a junk pile. It's got like a wrapper on it. I'm like, I got it specifically because it looked this way. I got the one with the Chinese dragon. I got it because it looked that way. You know. Hello, your Gaslands nemesis sissies. What's up, my nemesis? You my little nemesis. What's up, Justin? No, still not good. Double MGs. I'm not going to use any MGs that are the Russian ones. We're saving that for the Russians. We're saving that for Red Square. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to make the Russian team. That's a double entendre. That's right. Make it a triple entendre, even better. It's an entendre of entendres. Uh-oh. That ain't gonna work. Northern Michigan burgers on grill, 42 degrees. We got 42 also, except it's Celsius. That means it's hot. It got into the 90s today. I gotta remove the old glue to put this. I don't know why the hell this fell off. Yeah, that's where it goes. All right. Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. It's cooling down. Hurry up. The Pimp Python. Yeah, so we just need a couple HMGs on here. Yeah, I didn't ask for this hot fucking weather. Dry? Oh my god. It's drier than a nun's cooch. How'd I do? I just came up with that one on my own. I can't be a stand-up comedian. I'd laugh at some of my shit. That's right, that's right. You know it. All right, so where are we going to mount these things? All right, we don't want to mount it on the front because we want that whole grill look. That's the whole point with it. Roof, that's kind of lazy, man. There's all kinds of shit on the roof all the time. You know? Doesn't quite fit. And I like the sunroof, man. Them hoes can be like, sticking their head out or something else. This doesn't look bad, but this just screams this is a damn turret. Why won't you allow this to turn? So that doesn't work. I don't know about that, man. I'd rather not find out. Got these things, but these things work really well for 1950s type vehicles. That's not bad. That's not bad, but I think I could do the same thing with better machine guns. We could just use the standard machine guns that we have a shit ton of. We have a bunch of those. That might be good if I have two of those. Because they fit in such a way that you can still use the sunroof. Or the moonroof, technically. I like that. I like that. It's kind of like a sleek machine gun. Alright, that's what we're going to go with. That was easy. That's right. Just got to put them on there to... Yeah, we're like 25, supposedly I said that we're like 25 inches below where we should be. But you know what? Those same people, when we start getting some of those hurricane things that are coming, I'm not saying direct hits by hurricane, but all the churning that the hurricanes create with that extra water. Everybody be like, we got too much water, we don't know what to do. That's my hippie bitch. That's my hippie bitch book of the month sound. Does Gaslands have energy weapons? They got lasers. No plasma. Just lasers. I think to make my life easy, I'm going to repaint this front part that's got all little ripples and stuff on it. I'm gonna prime that. But the funny thing is as dry as it's been, my grass isn't dead. But we don't have artificial grass. We have whatever grass was here that the owner put. Now, it doesn't look like ass. No one would be like, oh man, it probably looks like shit. It doesn't. It looks okay. It's not like, we got bald spots or anything like that. If we had that St. Augustine grass, it'd be dead. What wasn't dead would have been eaten by, what are those grub things called? I don't remember what the hell they're called, but they would have had a field day with it. Try and eat anything with some moisture. Not mole crickets, but something like that. Now, the grill of this thing needs to be repainted. So we're going to paint this all black. When are you gonna start painting those goblins? The what are those damn things called? Snotlings. So you should call kids in like preschool. Oh, snotlings. What grade do you teach, snotling? I don't know how teachers do it because there's like, you'd have to like teach college. Because if you teach like really young, you get these attitudes like, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. That bullshit, that uppity crap. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I guess in that case we got to paint this too. And this. Are middle schoolers. Oh, they're like the smartest ones. Oh, they're geniuses. That's why they're in middle school. Just like those kids on all the Disney Channel shows. Oh, they're the smart ones and the parents are the dumb ones that go to work. But they have all the answers for everything. The prepubescent or pubescent kids. Blackbirds by me eat all the grass grubs. Chinch bugs. That's what they are. Chinch bugs. I guess they're like mole crickets or whatever. They eat the roots of the yummy grass, and the next thing you know, you don't have any yummy grass left because the chinch bugs ate it all. Pimp Daddy. Oh yeah. All right, I'm going to use the little boy's room. Be right back. I mean, I got so many cars that are all fun to do, so I might as well knock out the ones that are sitting right in front of me. You know? I'm gonna go ahead and put these guys back while that's drying. See if we can load these guys all up in this side. Eventually, I want to organize this stuff all by point value. Almost all the vehicles are 27 points. Almost all of them. But right now, they're just kind of organized. Like the older vehicles are here. Not that all of these have been played with. We definitely have some ones that have not seen action. Most of them have been used only once. Oh, Methcalade's supposed to be over on this side. I wonder which one I took from over there. Oh, the basketball one. The basketball one is relatively new. It should be over on the other side. They don't really have set places where they go, but oh shit! I forgot about. Of all the cars, how could I forget this one? This is a Boombox Consortium, Boombox Carnage car. It's none other. It's never been used before. That's Trifiddy. This has got 350 caliber machine guns. Trifiddy. How could I forget Trifiddy? Goddamn Loch Ness monster. I had to look that up the other day. I'm like, oh, that's what people say about that. Oh, okay. I don't watch that show. I don't watch poorly illustrated cartoons. If they're well illustrated, I'd watch it. But poor illustrated? Trifiddy. All right, Pimp Daddy. Pimp Daddy Daddy Yo. This dry? Yep. All right, let's get some of the slow working one, just for good measure. That's not Glulandia. Get deported from Glulandia. So this is going to go even on the back and towards the edge, so you can still open that sunroof, moonroof. Technically it's a moonroof. Get myself a little bit of a height advantage. And then do the same thing with the other one. Is my hobby room real big? I don't know. It's maybe 10 by 12. The thing is, it's got useful walls on all of them. I mean, it used to be the pantry, which is massive for a pantry. I've shown it to you, haven't I? We'll spin this thing around. The other room was bigger in the other house. However, it had a lot of space I couldn't use. And the only bad thing about this one is connected to the kitchen. So, if they're making a lot of noise in the kitchen, it's an issue. But it's all right. And it doesn't have a ceiling fan, but we fixed that. We got the standing fan. All right. You put the glasses where I can actually see. Let's kill this. All right, so we got one wall over here. I don't know how to zoom this. We got the wall over here. It's got the paint on it. We got a window that you never see. Here's one of the cases for it. Here's that asshole that lives here. Okay, here's the big case with all the tanks and shit on it. Okay, here's the other two cases that I got. Let's get this out of here. These are basically the same as these. One stacked on top of each other. This one's empty right now. Ceiling fan, door out to the kitchen with the refrigerator that you had a hard on for. Make sure that's not teetering. These are all slide out things where all my stuff right there. This was already here. This is like, I think it's IKEA or something like that. I think we have to use as like shelves and stuff like that. So books, and there's just stuff in front of it. I need to cut down some of this thing. And then on this corner, that's kind of the only unused corner, because you can't get to it, because to get to it, you got this damn thing in the way. This is the second desk. And here's the window. It's got one of those shades you can move up and down. We'll put those all over the house. All the internet feeds through that little box over there. That's it. Yeah, it's bigger than a lot of people's hobby room. Now, I've seen some hobby rooms that are ridiculous, but it's pretty organized. It's not very messy or claustrophobic or anything like that. I can't really complain about it. It's better than the last one. That's for sure. So, the only bad thing is the door to it is a sliding like barn door. So it doesn't seal sound really well. But the lighting is like awesome. I mean, I've got 4 LEDs up here. I almost wouldn't even need light. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's better than most people's hobby room. And, I would rather have my own room, but we went from a 4-bedroom to a 3. So this house is a 3-bedroom with this. So it works really well. And every wall is usable. So, and the other one, I only had like 2 walls I could use. And the closet sucked. Whereas this one doesn't have a closet. It has that, like a standing thing, and it's pretty good. But I need to get through some projects. So. Yeah. Well, the nice thing is this house has great freaking lighting everywhere. Like, I didn't even have to ask for it. It came this way. It was a custom built house. It was not that the previous owner designed, and he had some good ideas. He had some really good ideas. And lighting's super important. If you want to live in a cave, make sure you get a house that has, that's cave-like. I don't like living in a cave. I like natural light. Really have no complaints. So, really didn't have any complaints about the old house, other than, it was just older and, a lot of things were going south on the house that just happened on a house that's 30 years old. Big hobby room, need to fill it up more. Well, we kind of run a minimalist house. We don't have shit everywhere, and we like it better that way. You know, we actually got somebody when we moved. We actually hired an interior decorator, so that we didn't have just like hand me down stuff that we've had for like 25 years. Right? So it was difficult getting rid of things, but everything like looks together. So, yeah, you go to any other gamer's house, and this is like spotless. You know, I can't deal with people's chaos. It's hard to think. You know, you custom designed your house. I don't have a ceiling fan in this room. That's the only gripe, but I don't need it. That little standing fan's great. Only gripe. Very small gripe. And I got the paint station outside. I got that hobby bench that the guy built. Like, that's awesome. I mean, I could put the paint station here, but like, why? You know? I got the Dremel and everything out there, so yeah, I got no complaints. This place is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I have to go to work and I can't spend more time here. You know, but it's a pretty awesome house. It's not huge or anything. It doesn't need to be any bigger. It doesn't need to be smaller. I'll tell you the one thing you get used to real quick is 12-foot ceilings. First, you're like 12-foot ceilings, man. You feel like an ant. You're like, oh my god, I feel so freaking tiny in this thing. And then like, yeah, that's the size they are. You know, it's just human adaptation. It's why you survived the Ice Age. We just adapted. Okay, since we have the MGs on the roof. I don't think I'm actually going to make it gold. I don't think I'm going to make the front of it gold. I think we're going to stick with silver. We're just going to repaint it so it doesn't look like chrome. Because that chrome stuff, you can't get anything to stick to it anyways. And our kitchen island is fucking massive. It's like 42 inches by 90. And it's solid. You could have like a fucking can dancers on there. It's it's amazing. I saw it for the first time like, oh, we can play war games on this thing. Yeah, you can't leave them set up. I mean, you can if the girls aren't home. You know, they don't really keep me from doing anything. It's just kind of like, you don't do shit like that, right? You don't go like in like trash part of your house. Like, you gotta live like a normal life too, So you have cathedral ceilings. Well, it helps cooling things down, you know. So the guy built this house, and he liked it so much that when he moved here, he was going to redesign it and build it in North Carolina. And obviously, there's probably some things that he realized, man, I wish we would have, maybe put an outlet here or did something like that. But I mean, there's so many things that are done right on this house compared to our other house. It's amazing. And the lighting is incredible. The lighting is just really, really well thought out. We like LEDs, so, you save a lot of money too. Okay, so while this is driving, while Pimp Daddy is drying, let's go back to Yo Mamba. Hey, Yo Mamba. Don't you talk about my Mamba. We got to decide whether or not we're going to put even a snake on here. I don't know that it's necessary. I don't know that it's necessary. If I put it on here, it's going to have to be stylized. Let's find a picture of what's a mamba look like. I don't think it's a very distinctive looking snake. Mamba snake. And actually, a black mamba is not black. Okay, it looks python-like in a way. I mean, they're cute. I mean, I think snakes are attractive creatures. I just don't like that they move so damn fast. But I guess that means that's how they survive. Yeah, a green one. Yeah, it almost looks fake. It's a pretty snake. I don't fall into those people that hate snakes and they got to kill every single one of them. I'm like, I don't want them in the house. I don't want them to bite me. I don't need to pick it up. You know. Let's say he's got a black mouth. That's kind of a distinct thing. I don't know that it's very coiled looking. We have septic. We've never had septic before. You know what? It saves a shitload of money. We don't have well. No, we do have a water softener, which we've never had before. We have septic, which of course means we got to have an acre of land. Get used to that real quick too. The bad thing about having an acre of land is that it's too big to push mow. And I'm not going to spend some multiple $1,000s buying a lawn equipment that you have to store somewhere that, you give up every other Saturday because you got to go fucking mow it. So I don't pay them. My wife pays them, but I forget about that we're even doing that. So, because I've always mowed the lawn because it's just like, when I mowed lawn as a kid, you get $5. People now, they don't want $5. They want a lot more than that. I'm like, I don't think that's right. I want to be an adult and pay somebody $5 fucking dollars. What'd I do wrong? Well, I don't really lose anything by doing this. So let's give this a shot. All right. I don't want it white. Let's use skeleton bone. And if I'm not happy with this, I'm repainting this son of a bitch. The biggest difference is the septic. So like at the other house, I don't know why I put that much down. I can't do two things at once. The other house, we have sewer. So for every gallon that you bring in, it's like 3 times to flush it. So like if you spend, if you go through like 20 gallons coming in, they'll charge you for 60 gallons to pot. You got to pay for that shit. And I don't know that it's probably a different millage rate, but still it costs a lot more than it does here. So I don't know that I would want a well. If it came with a well, okay, it's got a well, but I'm not going to put one in. A well would be handy if you like watered your lawn, but we don't do that. You don't have a spoiled lawn. Somebody told me it's like the problem with a lot of these lawns that don't work is they're spoiled. People, they're used to being watered all the time and they get all persnickety, and if you don't baby them all the time, they'll fall apart. And there might be some truth to that, but I don't have a really good idea of what I'm going to do with this. That's the only problem. So let's thin this down a lot and sketch. Okay? So I'd like to have, if I put a snake on here, it needs to be kind of elongated. Not really like a coiled up thing. Kind of has a big mouth. Big, longish mouth. And I'd like to have it on this door and on the side of this. So if it coiled up, and it's going to have to be on both sides. So if you're going to, and I don't think I'm going to put it on the front of the vehicle, it's going to look like a rattlesnake, and it's not a rattlesnake, it's a mamba, right? So if we just kind of sketch, I feel like I need to go darker than this. If we just kind of sketch, and now you go go lighter than that so I can see. Something like that. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I think that's a good shape. It's not coiled too much. And if it doesn't look exactly the same on the other side, that's okay. Let's make sure we don't touch it because I kind of like how it turned out. Okay, so the head points down. That's okay. Now let's start building it out. And it's kind of a thin snake, too. Sometimes you just gotta do shit. You don't have to worry about, I don't know if it's gonna turn out. Just start fucking painting. I gotta tell that to myself sometimes. Like, I don't always get things right the first time or happy with them how they turn out. All right, let's lighten this thing up some more. I think this might be a little, I might think this might be a little too extreme. Maybe something like that. I want it to look like a thin snake. It's a very fast snake. Might actually be the fastest snake now that I think about it. Well, how fast does it run? Well, it doesn't run at all. It's a snake. The snake's all muscle. One of these things, man, like, I've never done this before. I said, well, fucking do it. You might love how it turns out. Well, we're kind of at that stage right now. Where I was expecting to get an A, and I got an A plus kind of thing, you know? All right, let's bring this up even more. Now, which part's lighter on it? It looks like the underside. Well, that's kind of a fucking pain in the ass. When you have something that's the underside is lighter. Let's see if we can go with that. Is the whole bottom jaw lighter? It is. Now, I'm going to put the dot here. I don't think I'm going to write Yo Mamba on it. I think I'm okay with it. But I think I'm going to have to seal this before I go to weathering because I don't want the weathering to like destroy this. And before I do that, I think I need to do some experiments using an enamel. I think we're going to have to do enamel on this thing to keep it kind of together. I'd hate to repaint this thing. It's especially since I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. It doesn't have to look perfect. Remember, some criminal that didn't know how to fucking painted it. I know I don't mean me. I mean whoever the hell's on this team. DJ Magic Paintbrush. Yeah, the Black Mamba's not really black. I mean, I guess his mouth is. Maybe that's why it gets how it gets its name. I honestly don't know. And I would put a tongue on it, but his tongue's black. It's a pretty snake. I mean, unless you're a snake hater. I'm not. I could think we're going to have to experiment this weekend and make sure we don't fuck this up by, when we dry brush it and stuff like that, ruin the whole look. I think. I could be wrong. We're going to let that dry for a little bit either way. Let's come back to Pimp Daddy over here. And let's get some of this dry brushing here. We'll just use this for now. Let's get a brush that's not too delicate. What time is it? 8:32. Well, they're already headed back. Well, I will stop when the girls get home. And it looks like they're on their way home. So this is going to be chrome colored. But I like to start chrome with a darker color. So it has some depth. Where can I grab this from? It's not going to be an issue. Cadillac Seville. It's a coupe. I don't know how fast this car is. There's some Cadillacs that are surprisingly fast. I doubt this is one of them, but there's some that are surprisingly fast up to 60 miles an hour. Ah, shit. Woo! Saved it. The thick paint saved the day. Really, the one time we have a fumble, we're not on the cardboard. Well, it'd wipe off this anyways. It'd be annoying for that to happen. No, we don't want gold machine guns. That'd be taking it too far. I might add some gold things on it, though. Just to kind of pimp it out on the MGs. Man, we're really knocking out cars left and right, and it just doesn't seem like I'm making much of a dent on what we got here on the paint table. Okay, I think this is where we're gonna stop for the evening. We should pick back up in the morning. We got Pimp Daddy and Yo Mamba. Those will be done soon. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not gonna go out of town, so we should get a lot of painting done through the weekend. So yeah, putting it down on them, just need to